Hey everybody, it's Miss I here. We're gonna make dough today. This is one of my favorite things to do because sometimes it's just fun to play with it and make different shapes and roll it around. And then sometimes it's a good technique when you're having a big feeling, like maybe mad, to just kind of get some of those emotions out and do something different to get our minds off of it. But mostly it's just fun to play with dough. All right, I hope you guys have everything you need. The first thing I love to do is really read the recipe. So you guys have it there, and it should say Summer Sun Play-Doh recipe. Now, for the most part, everything you can do on your own, but you might need an adult to help you, maybe find some bowls or find some measuring cups that you need. But there's nothing you need as far as heating anything up. So you don't have to worry about a stove or anything like that. Okay, so remember I said the first thing I like to do is really read the instructions before I get started. It tells me I need flour, so I have my flour bag here. Tells me I need some salt. Okay, it should look like that in your bags. I need tartar, it'll look like this. I need water, so this is something that you'll have to get on your own. 1 1/8 cup of water. Maybe someone in your house or apartment has a measuring cup like this. You need some vegetable oil, should look like this. And then some food coloring that goes on at the very end if you want to turn your dough into a color. Okay? The other thing I like to do, and I'm going to show you in just a minute, is make sure that I have everything laid out before I get started. So you're going to need a bowl, and then a large bowl, and then probably somewhere to put your dough on. If you have a cutting board, I like to use a cutting board. You can tell mine's been used a lot. And maybe something to mix it with. And don't forget, keep your recipe nearby. You can even look in the screen if you want. All right, I can't wait to get started. Okay, so the first thing it tells me is in a large bowl, combine flour, salt, and the tartar. So here's my large bowl, okay? So I'm gonna take my flour and carefully open it, and I'm gonna put it in the bowl. Okay. Then it says salt. I'm gonna put that in. Here we go. So I'm gonna put my salt in. Okay. All right. I'll just put my bags carefully over here. Okay. Oh, and then the cream of tartar. Looks like this, and it should say tartar on the top for you. And it says combine. That means basically just stir it real careful. So you don't have to go fast or anything. Just kind of stir it so the salt mixes in with the flour and the tartar. Okay, that's it. Just like that. Okay, the second part is it says in a separate bowl, so not the same bowl that you just did the flour. We're gonna put the water and oil together. And again, it's saying that word combine. So we're just gonna stir it together. Okay, so I'm gonna put my water in the bowl. And then I'm gonna put my oil in the bowl. It's kind of a science experiment, really. Kind of see what it does. Okay, then I'm gonna take my mixing and I'm just gonna mix it together. Just combine it. Okay, now we're gonna put the two bowls together. So we're gonna use the big bowl to mix it all together, okay? So go ahead and take your water and oil bowl, remember they're together, and we're gonna constantly, as best as we can, doesn't have to be perfect, I promise. We're just gonna pour it while we're mixing into the big bowl, okay? Okay, so now we're getting our flour mixture all wet with the water and oil mixture. Okay, and just keep stirring. Remember, it doesn't have to be fast, and it's gonna start to get thick. Okay, so we're just gonna keep stirring as best as you can. It might take a while. Get it all combined. If you need help from someone in your house, that's okay. Oh, sometimes your arm gets tired, so you might want someone to help you mix. Keep going. All right, my arm is getting tired. Have you been mixing a long time? Me too. But it'll eventually start to get a little bit hardened up or thickened up, and it shouldn't be sticky anymore. So you have to keep stirring until it's really not sticky anymore. Also, you might need to add a little extra flour. Do your hands look like mine? So I think mine is getting pretty good, but remember, I've been stirring a long time, so my arm is tired. That's okay. Sometimes it's fun to keep working hard at something. Okay, so I'm feeling it still a little bit sticky. I'm gonna add just a little bit more flour to mine. And then I'm gonna stir that in. When I have it not sticky anymore, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on my cutting board. Okay, so I think mine's ready. Now, it kind of looks something like this. And I took a little bit of extra flour and I put it on the cutting board. You're gonna find out why in just a second. So you're gonna take out your ball of dough, not quite ready yet, but still kind of fun, right? And we're gonna smash it on the cutting board and just kind of keep playing with it on that cutting board. This is called kneading with a K. And you're just gonna fold it over, make it into balls, keep rolling it around, and you're just gonna really work that dough. Remember, you might need some extra flour. So if we didn't give you enough, I hope that maybe your family has some extra flour that you can ask to borrow. But you're just gonna keep working and kneading the dough. And eventually it's gonna turn in to a dough that kind of feels like Play-Doh, or maybe some clay maybe that you've gotten to use in art class, or maybe from a store before. But you're just gonna keep working it. Remember, you might get tired. And remember, it's gonna be longer than what you're seeing in this video. Remember, we're just gonna keep moving it around, folding it in on each other, really smash it a few times, roll it into a ball, and slowly it's gonna turn in to dough that you can use over and over again to play with. Remember, if you need a little bit more flour when it starts to get sticky, just add a little bit more, maybe some on the board, and keep working all that in. Now, I know flour can be a little messy, so make sure you're mindful to do the best you can to keep it on your board. And also remember that since you are definitely big enough to make this recipe, you're also big enough to make sure you help clean it up when we're all done. But keep working that dough. All right, look at all that dough. Mine's just about right. What does yours look like? Now, if you want to, you can add a little bit of food coloring, and that will color your dough. Some people like to wear gloves when they are doing food coloring so it doesn't stain their hands. The other tip I have is really only add a tiny bit at a time. You can keep changing the color the more you add, but just add a little bit at a time and decide if you like it or not. Okay, so I'm gonna add some blue food coloring. Yours might look different than mine, but this is the kind I have. And remember, you don't need a lot of food coloring, I promise. You just put maybe 1 or 2 drops. Start working it and see how it changes the color of your dough. Have fun. All right, everybody. I told you I used blue. I spilled some, but you just keep working it and look, it turned out blue. Now my Play-Doh is all ready. I hope you guys had fun making this. Remember, you can keep it in a plastic container or a plastic bag for a couple weeks in the fridge. So when you're done playing with it, just store it in a plastic bag or plastic container. Keep it in your fridge and you can use it again and again. Have a great day, everybody.